Welcome back to Rock Guitar Confidential with Scott and Ryan. Look, it's a bird. It's a plane. It's our 104th episode, The Power of Persistence. Next.
The thing about us is about rock and roll. So, and that's just no cliche. It's just what it is, man. It is
Absolutely, dude.
So rock and roll, I don't even have to dress like a rock and roller. I'm just like exude it. You know what I mean?
Dude, it's all I can do. Like in the morning, I rock and roll over and I turn off the alarm clock.
And over again.
And that's right. And, yeah.
That's actually, it's funny. I know that's a cover, but I always think of it as a Mr. Big song, Rock and Roll Over.
Wait, I was thinking like the Kiss album.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. I was thinking the Mr. Big song.
See, there you go. That's how hard we rock. We can rock and roll over from different directions.
Exactly, dude. Well, I'm not thinking Paul Gilbert. Oh my God, dude! I saw Paul Gilbert doing some video. He's talking about stuff, and he makes me so sad now.
Why?
Someone who once brought me so much joy makes me so sad. He's just like an old man who's like, talking about how, I used to be such an overplayer and I used to play all these scales and all this stuff, and he was like, but now I'm just really into the power of the blues. I'm like, what happened to you, Paul Gilbert? You look like a weirdo. Like you're like a weirdo you would see outside of 7-Eleven, trying to buy something off. It's like, what happened? He was such a cool dude. I mean, if
you're Paul and you've already, I can't imagine.
He lost his fire to rock, dude.
I can't imagine Paul like shredding any harder.
I can imagine at least shredding as hard. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, look, I'll admit,
blues can come for anyone, even Paul Gilbert. That makes me terrified. Like, what's up, Yngwie? Watch out, man!
Dude,
look in your closet. Yeah. There might be some blues in there.
I hope he doesn't have arthritis.
Maybe.
That's a real concern.
You think so?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Absolutely, dude. I think I know that it's affecting Jakey Lee.
Yeah. Well, he also
got shot right before
in the arm in his freaking arm.
In the dark.
Yeah. Well, Phil Soussan's like, I'm cashing that check. Jake got shot in the dark.
He took his dog out to bark at the moon, and he got shot in the dark.
Exactly. That's literally true. Like, people, this is not even.
That is literally true.
Ridiculous.
But I guess. In an interview I recently heard him do, because we tuned in, or at least I tuned in after the fact to the whole like Ozzy concert thing.
Yeah.
Because I was
going to pay Sharon's, whatever it is she's going to have.
Right. But I wanted to see Jake return to the stage, right?
Yeah.
But and I guess he says that on Ultimate Sin, like he and Nuno played the solo simultaneously. But
yeah, anyway, I saw it. I watched it. They both played at the same time. Yeah.
But Jake wasn't really able to play the solos, and that's because of arthritis. We're all getting older, man. So I wonder if Paul is feeling the arthritis a little bit.
It could be. I don't know. He still has chops. I watch him play. I just feel like he just doesn't have the fire. He doesn't have that sort of it's fucking dude.
His attention. I feel so. Like, remember how on Intense Rock 1, he does like the 4-note group, the ascending descending triplet thing, right? Where the lick that we all played 15 trillion fucking times,
sure.
Right? When we were teenagers.
Intense Rock 1 especially is like a big time, jumping off point for a lot of shredders.
Absolutely, man. Because he had the cleanest right hand of anybody with a flat pick.
Yeah, I think him and Steve Morris and maybe Vi are probably some of the best pickers I've ever seen. I would throw Yngwie in there too. I think Yngwie is a monstrous picker.
Yeah, definitely. But there's a certain, but like with like Paul was always, I think, a little different.
His picking hand is freaking sick. There's no doubt.
When I think of like Vi, I think of like a real like liquidy.
But he does it all though. Vi's like brilliant picking, sweeping. He can do all the different tapping variations. And I think of look at Yngwie. Yngwie sweeps a bit. He's a monstrous alternate picker, man. Steve Morris is an incredible picker. You know what I mean? Now same thing. You speaking of arthritis, I guess Steve's got some big time arthritis issues going on. He's still playing like a freaking monster though.
Yeah,
I just heard the new Morris stuff is killer. It sounds just like classic Steve Morris. Like even though he's an older guy, he still sounds just like Steve Morris. You know what I mean? That's what makes me sad about Paul. Like, it doesn't sound like Paul anymore. It sounds like, who's this weird kind of old guy playing these blues riffs?
So Paul also has like severe tinnitus.
Yeah, that's true. That doesn't mean he still can't hear the rock and roll rocks though.
But have you heard? But have you heard how like the way he speaks? Have you heard how that's changed?
Yeah.
Well, if you listen to someone who's deaf, they don't talk the same way anymore. I think Paul is suffering from some ailments.
Yeah, it could be.
You know, so that's why I love Paul Gilbert, as I know you do too.
Yeah, Paul's freaking awesome. I would learn to play a lot of stuff at the feet of Paul Gilbert. Oh my god! And I think Paul Gilbert's discography is freaking sick, man. There's so much great stuff that he's done. You know what I mean?
I just think there's some physical things like going on there. So there's that part, but then if you also look back at like Intense Rock 1 versus Intense Rock 2, when he gets to, and for those who don't know, these are the instructional videos that the VHS cassettes that we paid
either purchased or traded with each other. Yeah,
well,
back
both.
in the day, you know,
right?
I remember borrowing Richie Kotzen's from a friend of mine and devouring that. You know, back in the day. And
dude, I have an autographed copy of Intense Rock 2 that I purchased before I got to have dinner with Paul.
Oh, that's so cool, dude. Yeah. So guys, this is all pre-internet. There was no YouTube. Like, you can go on YouTube right now and put on guitar, Paul Gilbert Intense Rock 1 and have it right there at your fingertips. Back then, and all of really every instructional video that's ever been.
Pentatonic licks.
Yeah, exactly. Pentatonic licks. I know. I love it.
So noted on Intense Rock 2, he introduces the same lick, but he walks back and has to point out like, hey, the first time I introduced this, we didn't talk about dynamics.
Yeah.
So you can pick the notes really quietly. You can pick the notes really aggressively. There's there's a spectrum.
There's a whole thing on two about like rhythm too, like how you come up with different rhythmic groupings of the notes. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool.
So I think that I don't know. Maybe he feels like he somehow maybe didn't like focus enough on melody in the past. I don't know, but. So I mean, I've his album Stone Pushing Uphill Man. I've referred a great many students to that album because it's the one where he takes hit pop songs. It's like what he did with the Dio album, where he just replaced the vocal melody with him playing guitar.
Yeah.
Which in and of itself, I don't care, but like as an academic thing, I think that's hugely important, right?
Melodically and dynamically and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think if you, as a guitar player, if you want to develop a strong melodic sense, then just start copying singers, not guitar players.
Yep. I would always just point to Neil Schon. If you want to develop great melody, it's like listen to every Neil Schon solo that's ever been. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Neil Schon's always played with a great singer.
He's always played very memorable lines too. Everything he has it all. He's like everything you want. He's got all the chops. He's got the best melodies. It's melodies that everybody, whoever it is, can sing those melodies.
And he's a totally instinctive player too. Like he's not gonna be the professor at your college course.
Nope, not at all. But he is so brilliant when it comes to, like, I was just teaching the Who's Crying Now solo to a student the other day, and it's just so brilliant in terms of the way the melody and everything, the way that he does like variations on the theme and stuff, and now each one's a little different, where he does the bends, what notes he bends up to, how he vibratos certain notes, the way he slides in and out of notes, all that, and then it's always focused on the melody. And with all the licky stuff, like the more shreddy stuff that he does, is usually like just to accentuate, like to either sort of crescendo into something or sort of crescendo out of something. That's like, it's never about the shredding. It's the shredding's there to like musically purposeful. You know what I mean?
Sure.
To
yeah, absolutely.
Which I think is something lacking in a lot of people who are chops guitar players. They tend to like it's more like, look at the feat of wonder I just accomplished, rather than, okay, how does this fit musically? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Everyone has to make their own decision on how they want to exhibit their technical facility. But I think in the service of the song and the melody, that's the way it goes. And Paul, I think if he thinks he hasn't been focused on melody long enough, he's selling himself pretty short. Because I mean, there's a lot of brilliant melodic stuff. Even in the Racer X stuff, which is more shred based, he still has that.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
I mean, even in the riffs, there's melodies that are just awesome. The
interplay with him and Bruce Boulez too. That's another, like, that's so freaking sick, dude. I just like having both those kind of guitar players in the same band at the same time. It was so rad, dude.
Bruce Boulez just released a couple of videos recently. I saw something on the socials that he put up.
Apparently he's got his chops back.
Yeah, so which is great. Yeah. I mean, talk about like health issues. He had some.
Yeah, well, having a healthy Bruce Boulez in the world making music is a good thing.
Yeah, that definitely, that's something to be grateful for 2026. Looking forward to 2026. Exactly. So it would make me very, like the most recent Racer X albums were done just with Paul doing everything.
Yeah, he didn't have a second guitarist in the band, but it was, I think, with everybody else in the band, they said that
just without Boulez, right?
Yeah. So I guess he couldn't physically play.
Right.
Yeah.
So my wish for, here we go. So this will kind of lead us into the topic. Okay. Today's topic being persistence and the power of 2026.
Yes, the optimism.
Yes, the optimism. So maybe we'll include like some of our wishes, our hopes and wishes for 2026. So my first hope and wish for 2026 is a new Racer X album featuring both Paul Gilbert and Bruce Boulez.
Man, that would be sick.
That would be so sick.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, I read an interview recently with a singer from Mr. Big, I'm sorry, Racer X, and he said that he had
Jeff Martin.
Jeff Martin, who's a fantastic singer, by the way.
And local guy.
Yep. Great vocalist. And
a great drummer.
And exactly. He was actually the drummer in Badlands on the second album on.
Yes.
Anyway, long story short, he said that Paul's not really interested in recording heavy metal music anymore, which leads me to that sort of like sad, like stab you in the heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
dude. I bet if Bruce was like, dude, one more ride, all four of us.
Yeah, I hope so. You know what I mean?
Because actually, and didn't Paul just release something where it was all like recorded live or something like that?
The newest one he did, this thing that something to do with like George Washington or something. I'm not sure what it is. It was kind of weird, and I saw the video recently where he's kind of breaking down stuff. And
I mean, I love his eccentricity, but
he's talking like, oh yeah, so when you go to the four chord, he's basically breaking down blues changes and how you would play over blues and stuff. And I was like,
we know how to do that.
I know, but that's like what he's doing, rather than like, okay, let's talk about how to do these string skipping sextuplet ideas. You know what I mean? He's like doing, hey, here's my going to the four chord. I'm gonna bend the third and then go up to the flat seven. That's gonna identify the dominant tonality and stuff. Like, that's cool and all, but
in defense of Paul, I mean, if you want to receive a lesson from Paul Gilbert, like explaining string skipping sextuplets, I mean, it's out there.
Yeah, I get it.
That exists.
I know, but and so is about 1,000 videos on how to play over a four chord and a dominant blues progression too. You know what I mean? You don't need him doing that. That's like, that doesn't make sense.
I mean, maybe he's just explaining why he did. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in denial. I'm in the first stages.
I'm just so sad.
I'm in like the early stages.
I'm already there. I'm like 3 steps down. I'm just sad. Paul Gilbert doesn't rock anymore, dude. I'm accepted it.
You've reached the acceptance phase.
I've accepted that, and I'm just sad about it.
I'm clearly in the denial phase.
You know what I mean? It's like, how is one of my heroes like not want to rock anymore? You know what I mean? George Lynch is like that. He's just a businessman at heart. So he's like, okay, I know I don't really want to rock anymore, but I know all my fans want to hear me play like Mr. Scary and Into the Fire and stuff.
I mean,
he's still doing it for the paycheck, but he's clearly his heart is not in it. You know what I mean?
I mean, dude, when you've played all those songs, I mean, one thing that we know, man, how do I put this? Like, I'm going to try and be, I'm going to riff on a saying that's out there about another topic, but, like for every hot song out there, there's some guy who's sick of playing it.
That's probably true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right?
But, I mean, at some point, though, you have to like accept that that's part of your legacy. That's the thing that paid for your lifestyle.
He does. I mean, he's taking the money.
That's why he's doing it.
But you can't. Like, I can speak for myself, but like one thing I hate about playing covers, is that I can't fake passion or interest. I just can't do it. That's why I don't do it. That's one reason I don't do it anymore.
Yeah, especially with a song that you don't have any kind of connection with at all, and it's like, I get it. Yeah,
and like humbly, like I do a pretty good Neil Schon impression on Journey songs.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Yeah, you'd rather play Brian.
I'd rather play my own stuff, right? That's where Ex Ages comes in, right?
Exactly.
So, I don't know.
I get that. Yeah, but that being said, I mean, it's one of those things that I guess when the fire in the belly goes out, it just makes me sad, especially if it's someone I was really, really, influenced by. Another guy who doesn't do that is Reb Beach, who's one of my big heroes. He wants to rock harder, dude.
Yeah, I love that about Reb.
Yeah, and it's like, let's freaking do this. He's got that, I think that watching that fire go out in someone's belly, especially like when they were so awesome back in the day, and it's like they were like so on it, and then it's like, it just makes me sad. It's like,
so I'm gonna say I'm gonna plant my flag firmly in. Paul has some health issues. Right. He must.
I'm gonna sit over here and be sad about it.
Look, the tinnitus is public knowledge.
Yeah, that's been for 25 years.
Right, that's public knowledge, and so that can just really change a person's relationship with music. Obviously, like deeply.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So he probably just wants to like play music that's quieter.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Because he's afraid of losing his hearing entirely, which would be an existential crisis.
Look at like a guy like Brian Johnson, though, the vocalist for AC/DC.
Not on the same level as Paul Gilbert.
No, but he's got tinnitus really badly.
He does.
To the point where he had to bow out of a tour because of it. You know what I mean?
Right, but he's not. Respectfully, as an artist, like he's not on the same level as Paul.
No, I agree with that. But I'm
right, there's a big difference between what Brian
still
Johnson
totally rocks, though, and he's got.
I think they need to hang it up, man. I've seen footage of the angle. Like if there's a band that needs to stop, I think it's AC/DC, man.
So just saying, one of your hopes for 2026 is AC/DC stops touring,
just for their own,
dignity,
for their own whatever dignity's left.
Really? You feel that strong about it? Okay.
Well, okay. So in the last year, I've had to. engage some AC. So I mean, we joke a lot about the interview that Angus did, where the interviewer is like, "Well, so your first, this album here sounds just like the last album,
20 albums, or whatever."
He's like, "No, it sounds like the last 11 albums, whatever." Right? So like, I get that they do the same thing every album, but I had a student this last year bring me like because the kids are into the Marvel superheroes, right? So bought like the Marvel soundtrack thing or whatever.
Okay.
So they got commissioned to do
thrills on that probably.
Well, they recorded a song called War Machine.
Yeah.
Right. And then and then before that, I remember AC/DC released an album that only released in Walmart.
Oh yeah,
remember that?
Yeah, isn't that Rock or Bust or something? Or
fuck, dude.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is, but fuck Walmart. Like Walmart goes against like the existence of Walmart.
So you're looking at like more of a global kind of thing, like not just that it's just AC/DC made bad music, but like with the things that they're bringing.
Well, they made. Well, I mean, all of it, right? Like it's just not. I mean, it's just not.
So it's a holistic view of the
it is a holistic view, but I mean, really, more to the point now, they're just so old, it's not dignified.
Yeah.
Like, just like to hit the nail straight on the head. Like I've seen footage of like Angus on stage recently, as in the last like 3 months. And like it's not dignified. I wouldn't want to pay money to see him.
What does that mean? Like he's just so old he can't do it anymore?
He's so tired.
Oh, okay.
Just trying to survive the set, just to play the same fucking lick we've heard. Yeah. Like you can tell he's just like like when I don't like if you ever been at like the end of like 3 or 4 hours of playing, like a 3 or 4 hour night, right? Where you're doing like 50, 60, 70 songs.
Okay.
And it's just at the end of the night, you're dehydrated, you're fucking tired, like the club maybe emptied out even.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
you still got like 3 to go or whatever.
Yeah, you still got like 3 to go and you're just like mailing it in. Like now I'm like, I mean, look, that's the fucking truth, dude. Like we've all
in covers for sure.
We've all been there, right? Yeah. Well, so I mean, it looked like they were in like I don't know where they were in the set, but like he looked like he was just ready to be like, it just wasn't cool, man. You'd have to see it. It's like throwing grandpa on stage.
You feel it's like elder
in front. It's like, kind of. I mean, it just, I don't know. It wasn't fucking cool.
Well, it's on that same train. Like I just recently announced that, or I saw in the news that I guess Keith Richards bowed out of the latest Rolling Stones tour. Probably for some of the same reasons you're describing right there.
Oh, he had to go get his blood transfusion, and like the machine wasn't working.
Exactly, he had to go feed upon the living soul of a small child to stay alive or whatever. Yeah,
no, I hear. I hear he has to like suck down more like fetuses than like before, right? And like the freezer was empty.
Him, you know what I mean? That's that and heroin. But
yes,
but somehow like an 85-year-old, Keith. How does 85-year-old Keith Richards exist? I don't understand how that even happened either. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, dude, my dad's 81, and we're just glad he's alive.
I know. Keith Richards has actually been trying to kill himself for like 50 years, and so he's still.
Well, maybe he hasn't been trying to kill himself. Maybe he just like maybe it's like Interview with the Vampire, like back in like ancient Louisiana.
He just kind of came across
back in the like 19th century Louisiana. He just got bit.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, that seems like all the things that could happen. And
then he moved to London for a while. Moved to England. Yeah. Then he was a pirate for a while. Then he moved to England. Yeah.
I'm gonna do a Johnny Depp impression. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Johnny Depp's doing a Keith Richards impression. You know that, right?
Maybe not. Maybe who knows? Maybe if the scenario is, maybe Johnny Depp was like patient zero. He's the vampire, and he turned. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
There's so many things that could happen. I mean,
that's true. I mean, when you're immortal, yes.
No, I mean, I get you. I don't know. I feel kind of torn on that because if you look at someone like Angus Young or Keith Richards,
Angus not very young.
Angus was
anymore,
young.
Like not young at all. Even even his last name is working against him because it's so jarring.
All I can say is both you and I are not as young as we once were either.
Right, and I'm not.
We start throwing stones.
No, but I'm also not I'm not charging hundreds and hundreds of dollars for people to sit at the back of an arena.
Yeah.
To watch me struggle through my set.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that.
But here's the question, and this is something that like Lemmy experienced at the end of his life too, which is that sort of like, well, who am I if I'm not this? If I'm not on stage, like, who am I?
Yeah, Lemmy's a little different though, because you never saw the decline with Lemmy. No, he was Lemmy. Like you don't decline from being.
Well,
Lemmy.
He declined very quickly. It was like happened in over the course of a couple months. It was like that was that. You know what I mean?
Right,
but I mean the same thing that people would say, hey, you're not doing great, man. Why don't you just take it some time and just go home and recuperate and stuff? And I remember him saying like, what am I going to fucking go do? Go knit?
And so like
watch Murder She Wrote or something. He's like, I'm Lemmy, dude. That's what I do. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, Lemmy also wasn't like like lie down flat on your back and spin around like a helicopter propeller. Like Lemmy doesn't have a stage move that was satired by Spinal Tap.
That's true, and
right?
I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna guess Chuck Berry till the very end probably did the duck walk.
Right.
To the very end.
Yeah, no, dude, like Lemmy was just in like the metal power stance and then just like spit the songs.
Oh,
right?
I get that.
Like a boss.
I guess the
right?
bigger picture, there's not getting into the details of the specifics of each player, but the sense of this is who I am. This is my identity. Who am I if I'm not this?
I mean, Lemmy
that's
also.
part of, I think, what's going on with Angus too.
I mean, Lemmy also like the meth just didn't stop working until the very end. You know what I mean? So like he,
I'm not trying to get into details. I'm just saying I think that's part of what's driving it. As much as we might look and say, well, who wants to see an 80-year-old?
I mean, Lemmy had the power of speed.
An 85
on his side.
Keith Richards, or who wants to see a 78-year-old, Angus Young. I think that it's really as much about them. I mean, and to his credit, David Coverdale just retired this year. He just said, I'm done.
Yeah, good on him.
I'm done. I'm
you know what? I respect
70s.
that.
I can't do it anymore. I'm just gonna freaking go and remaster like Jimmy Page is doing. Just go remaster all the Whitesnake stuff. And
sick.
Release stuff. Or,
Too bad John Sykes isn't around to benefit from any of those royalties.
Oh, like he would have benefited from that anyway. I'm sure that there's like contracts involved that would make sure that didn't happen.
I don't know. Maybe in his old age, maybe Coverdale would have, mea culpa'd a little. I don't know. Who knows?
You gotta respect that. He's living on his own terms. So okay,
I do appreciate that. And the last Whitesnake album, like I just couldn't even fucking listen to it. 'Cause, like the vocals were so slammed down in the mix, like it just. And you know why?
Joel Hoekstra and Red Beach are shredding our faces off on that album. I was all
they are, but
dude.
The singer's like absent.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree.
And you know why he's absent?
Yeah,
I mean, just do no vocal, but release an instrumental album, Whitesnake instrumental, so that I don't have to like be distracted by the non-existent vocals.
Oh, and speaking of which, I just wanted to mention as we're talking about the instructional video thing too. Like one of my biggest instructional video like things that really hit me the hardest is Red Beach is Cutting Loose. I remember
that's a great one.
I remember breaking that down and just like digesting that. Like we all did back in the day.
With his EMG pickups, just want to give EMG pickups a shout out.
You should go ahead and talk about this, man. Ryan's Caparisons is like his favorite guitars. They've now got brand new EMGs in it. So, tell us about your pickups, man.
Yep, got EMG 85 humbuckers in the bridge position and Steve Lukather single coils in the neck position.
Lukather!
Yeah,
so
dude, I
good.
love it. Yeah, yep, and I've been making my students learn some Yngwie, so we've been using that neck single coil.
Yep.
And I love it.
Yep.
So,
I like I said, making my students learn some Yngwie.
So big shout out to EMG pickups. You should all go, if you're listening, you should go buy some now.
Yep. I will give an equal shout out to DiMarzio pickups because those are actually really delicious, wonderful pickups too. So
big thanks to my buddy Tommy.
Whatever your color is, you just go choose those guys.
And then also go buy some EMGs. Make sure to buy some EMGs when you're buying your DiMarzios.
At DiMarzio's too. They're both good. They're just different flavors.
So basically, if you don't have enough guitars for every EMG that you buy, or for every DiMarzio you buy, you should buy
more guitars.
And then buy more guitars.
Yes, particularly at Skips Music if you're in Sacramento, California.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. And even if you're not in Sacramento, California, you can still go to skipsmusic.com.
And it's actually even better if you do that because the shipping is so special from Skips. Oh my God.
Absolutely.
So much love. You can feel the love. You open the thing.
It's like, dude, we put the love in everything.
Love. It's, oh my
That's
God.
right.
Oh my God. I think
and then while you're at it, you could sign up for guitar lessons with either me or Scott.
From either here in Northern California or anywhere if you want to take lessons on True to Fire or Zoom.
Yep, that's right. We'll Zoom. We'll both Zoom with any of you.
Yep, that's all I want to do.
You can find us on the social. Dude, did you just quote Spice Girls? Fuck. Well, everybody, that's the end of the podcast. Scott just dropped the Spice Girls.
Oh God, I would never drop. The
you know what
Girls.
sucks
They're
is
too special to me. Yeah.
Yeah,
they are.
Okay.
I just remember them from back in the day. Like I don't know, back in the day there was a thing. Yeah. So I want to get back to the happy, positive things. 2026. Let's talk about
yes.
that. So
2026.
What are we looking forward to? So I'm looking forward to 2026 is new X Aegis music. That's the number one thing that I'm looking forward to.
Yes,
absolutely.
me too as well.
Yep,
and there's some new gear here in the studio that's going to help us make it.
Yep.
So yeah, that's going to be a new thing.
And then we actually talked before about the idea of persistence and how much that matters too. Like if you're especially in the creative field, because there's not like a lot of like tangible benefits for a long time when you're in the whatever form your creativity might take, whether you're an artist, or if you're a writer, if you're a musician, if you're a comedian, whatever it might be, podcast host, whatever it might.
So I'm going to steal this stat from our.
Well, the good point I'm trying to get is that persistence is one of the key factors to determining whether or not you're successful, depending on how you determine what success means. So,
that's right.
Yep.
Absolutely. And so I'm gonna give Rick Beato credit.
What?
Because
man,
we got to have him on this
podcast.
podcast.
It's like the third
sometime.
head on this podcast. We talk about Beato.
And he has his own podcast.
I know.
I don't know why he'd waste time on ours.
Yeah. He's doing okay. He's doing okay.
So he's got a video out now. I recommend you all check it out because we're good podcasters. We're not going to rip off anyone's thing. And I don't know where he got this stat anyway, but
probably ripped off from someone.
It says, so the statistic is, it says from Riverside. I don't know if Riverside, it sounds like some stupid church.
Yeah.
Because, every evangelical church name is a combination of the words like river harvest, rock, side, bay, fellowship.
Yeah, exactly.
Harvest, harvest side.
Yeah, harvest
bay,
shallow.
Rock.
Harvest bay, fest.
Harvest rock side.
Whatever it is.
Bay, fellowship.
Yeah.
Harvest.
Well, it just brings them closer to God. That's what it is. Or Odin.
Oh, you know what? Big shout out to my good buddy Dan Zanelli, my student Dan, for the goat horn handled like pentagram laden goblet.
Oh man,
he got me for
Christmas. Did he get that at Bayside Church for you?
Yeah, dude, it's got the goat skull and the pentagram, and I'm gonna fill it up with virgin's blood for New Year's.
You just have it laying around all the time.
Of course, it's already in the house. Like it's proudly displayed inside my house.
Wait, was it Costco Virgin's blood? I want to make sure it's not.
Well, no, I haven't.
I make sure it's like organic.
I was gonna give Keith Richards a call.
Oh, okay. He sucks blood from others to sustain himself.
I know, so he's gonna hook me up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got all kinds of virgin's blood laying around.
Right.
Hey, bro, make all this virgin blood everywhere. Go get something with it.
I'm gonna see if I can get some of the stuff from back in the '60s.
Yeah, exactly.
Some like hippie virgin blood.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's very rare.
Almost impossible to find
because of the hippie part, right?
Yeah.
So it would be like new, pre-hippie virgin blood.
It's like NOS. It's NOS virgin blood.
Yeah, new old stock.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. So of course, so Beato has this thing on Persistent. There's some singer-songwriter-y guy, so I kind of glazed over. Like, the song sounds terrible.
That's why it's so persistent.
He's talking about, how many times he had to post it to get it to, like, latch on and stuff. And, it's something that we may do for 2026. We'll make sure that...
Double down on the social media.
So you guys will just get, like, hundreds of notifications about our podcast.
So you have that to look forward to.
That's right. You have that to look forward to, folks. Because, hey, we still need, if you want the quality of the podcast to improve, we need money.
That's true.
And then we'll buy, like, a producer and stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
So, so that's
and we'll keep them in the basement. How does that work? I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah. Well, no, I was
scraps of bread to them every once in a while. You know what I mean?
We'll buy like a she shed and put it in the backyard and just keep said producer.
Tell them they're just glamping. It's all good.
Right.
Yep. So what's the stat? I'm dying to hear this.
So the stat is 44% of podcasts don't make it past 3 episodes. Who are those people that do like 3 podcasts and then just bail?
When do you think you got a 10 in the can before you even start? I mean, I don't know.
It's got to be people who are like paying for studio time to go into a studio and then record a podcast.
Be celebrities too who have like an idea of like a vanity podcast and it doesn't like blow up right away and they give up on it. That could be part of it.
Yeah, but if you're a celebrity, Jennifer Lopez, remember she lost, like rightfully so, all those many millions of dollars on her stupid fucking new album and her dumbass tour.
Yeah.
Right, but so like if
that people would want to pay whatever it takes to see Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, but if she wanted to do a podcast, I'm sure she'd do at least 10 episodes and then bounce.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think a lot of what you see as success in this space is what you kind of start with your expectations being. You know what I mean? If you come in thinking I'm going to have 20,000, 30,000 followers right off the bat, like week 1, and then it doesn't happen, then maybe people just, they have unrealistic expectations about what success is going to look like and when. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, because the competition, there's lots of competition out there for attention.
There's got to be at least like 24 podcasts.
Oh, like out there total? Absolutely.
Yeah,
right, because it's so difficult for anyone to just record themselves talking.
That's impossible as far as I know. we're beating the odds every single day here.
Right, I know. We had to do like months and months of research and hire a consulting firm.
I remember there was a shaman involved at one point.
Yes,
because
that's right.
I assumed it must be some form of black magic or something that's involved.
Well, we had to make sure that my studio wasn't built on top of an Indian burial ground.
Well, we wanted it to be built because that's more exciting if it was.
Right. I wish.
Yeah. So I remember, that's just typical. If everyone out there at the podcast, you know what we're saying. This is what you deal with every day. That's just what it is. So anyway, good.
And then the other stat, let's see. The other stat is only 8% of podcasts make it past 10 episodes.
Wow. That's crazy to me.
So
considering like the dozens of podcasts that exist, that's weird to me.
For those who are curious, if you don't count the interviews that we've done, like today we are recording episode 104.
Yep, exactly.
So we're going to keep doing this, people.
This is the power of persistence, though. And I think the key to getting any kind of foothold in anything is just don't give up. It's so easy and it's so funny. no matter what your endeavor is, no matter what you're trying to do,
Yes.
it could be trying to be a professional golfer, it could be being a musician, could be being a comedian, could be an
Right.
actor, could be being an accountant, it could be anything. There's
Right.
always going to be somebody in your life, someone who comes across your transom that's going to say like, hey, you can't do this. What do you think you're doing?
Yeah, and
be realistic. Just do this. You know
and
what I mean?
unless you're like Post Malone or Cardi B or someone, like you should not listen to that person. If you are Post Malone, you should be like, oh fuck,
I should just go like become a quiet accountant somewhere and never make a sound again. I think that's exactly what should have happened. But and Cardi B, I don't know. I'm not gonna trash Cardi B. She's doing what she can in the space that she's in. It's
okay. So
totally
this is a much more charitable Scott we're witnessing for 2026.
Yes, I'm trying to like lean with love. I'm trying to have like love and acceptance be the thing I'm pushing forward more than anything else. Even though I don't like the music at all.
Hey, I don't want any. I don't want any harm.
Somebody.
I don't want any harm to befall Post Malone. I want him out of my fucking video game, dude. I mean, look,
Well,
my
you have
goal.
a method to get him out of the video game, right? Which is to kill him in the game, right?
Yeah, dude. I actually I loaded up the Post Malone skin again, and then I loaded into a match, and then immediately committed suicide. So like, even though I had to I basically I loaded into the game as Post Malone to kill myself, which was in that moment Post Malone.
So cathartic. It's like, gotta get this thing out of here,
Yes, that is correct.
So okay, let's lean towards hoping that in 2026 we're gonna have a lot of good new music that's gonna pop out.
Yes, a lot of good new music. I'm hoping in 2026
XA just being at the tip of the spear, obviously.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I can't wait, dude. So there's there was so much that was learned during X Aegis 1.
Yep. And we still have some stuff left over from X Aegis 1, and we have a bunch of new stuff too, and it's actually really fun. I gotta tell you guys, when you have a bunch of material that you go back and revisit after the fact, like when you're recording, because one thing that we tend to do is we'll like record stuff and we have the ideas. We'll have these sessions where we get together and we just play.
Yep.
And all of a sudden these ideas start forming, and then we kind of start getting like, here's a section, this is a B section, here's a bridge, that kind of thing, and then we'll kind of map it away and we'll put it away, and then we'll come back later when it's time to start making it into fully fledged songs.
Yes.
And we'll kind of go like, oh wow, I don't even remember. Oh my god, now I remember that. It's like, it's really crazy. It's like this archaeological discovery of your own music.
Yes, that's right.
Oh my god, I remember that. Yeah. I remember that now, and
absolutely,
it's super exciting and fun.
And anyone out there who's interested in taking drum lessons, I'm happy to announce that Alex Bosson is teaching at Skips Music.
Very cool, man.
Yeah,
Alex
so
Bosson, you the drummer for not only Lunar but also for X Aegis 1.
Yep, that's right. And I know, I'm looking forward to new great things for Lunar in the future.
Yep.
So excited to see what Alex and Lunar does in 2026. But yes, so he is now teaching at Skips Music, so I get to see my buddy Alex on a regular basis,
so
and
cool, man.
His input on the new X Aegis songs will be exciting to hear.
Yep. And see, like, as far as like the live stuff, I'm just hoping to have a bunch of great artists coming through at like large and small venues. Doing solid tours. I feel like, I don't know, we're in this weird space right now where I don't think there's any one form of music that's totally dominant at the moment. There's like all kinds of stuff happening at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the scourge of new country is still out there.
Thanks for listening to the Rock Guitar Confidential podcast with Brian and Scott. Please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Now back to the show. Well, I would argue that's actually increased in popularity in the last few years,
which is unfortunate.
But I mean, it's really all kinds of stuff happening at the same time. We are reaching that thing too, where a lot of the classic bands are kind of announcing their tours, and I know like Halloween's doing a U.S. tour and stuff like. There's some cool things happening.
We should check that out. That'd
Absolutely.
be fun.
I just keep thinking like, everybody out there, like when there's classic bands coming through where you live, try and make it happen to go see them, because this is where all the classic metal bands especially are getting to that point where every tour could potentially be the last tour,
right?
Whether they know it or not. So,
Dude,
even though if it's a good thing if AC/DC, I guess, it doesn't keep touring.
Yeah, like, AC/DC's got to hang it up.
But like that, there's other artists who still bring it, and it's you should take it, because you'll regret it if you don't. When those artists are gone, they're going to be gone forever, and they're not going to be replaced by someone equal. You know what I mean?
The other night I was watching over the holidays, like over Christmas. Like naturally I'm hammered, so nothing. Nothing goes better with with a glass of bourbon than some live King Diamond video.
There you go.
That big shout out to my buddies, to my buddy Andrew and my buddy Austin. Austin has been a student of mine for like 4 or 5 years. He just turned 21.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm happy to announce that on it was the day after. I had to do this on the day after Christmas. But yeah, Austin finally had his first bourbon on the rocks with me, so he finally became a man. Okay. So Austin, congratulations on finally becoming a man.
Aw, that's so sweet.
I'm glad that I was there for you in that moment.
All my students got old enough and went off to college and stuff. To help.
Dude, that's so bittersweet when that happens.
Oh yeah. Oh, I had so many, dude. This last year was like brutal. I had like so many students all age out at the same time.
That was me 2 years ago, but like that huge pay cut fucking sucks.
Well, that sucks too. But
you gotta put that out.
Not having people like who you care about in your life every week. That's something that's tough. You know what I mean? You kind of go, man, I miss seeing those guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wholeheartely agree.
Especially when someone I've been teaching these people for like 8 years or something like that. It's like that's a major. It's weird to think about. That's what's interesting about what we do is that these people who are our clients, and we are professional with them, and we have a job to do, but they become a part of your life. They become people you're used to seeing every day, and become something that is important.
Yeah, it's part of your routine. And
part of just people that you care about. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things that you're used to having that connection with that person, and it's wild when that you kind of the reality of what we do kind of comes home to roost. It's like, oh, you just are going to move on. That's what was always going to happen.
Yeah, but I mean, especially with adults, I think we do a better job of staying in touch. Like the teenagers there, but dude, I still get like a text message from I got one from a former student maybe 2 weeks ago, just saying like, hey, my band just hit like 1.2 million views or listens or whatever it was. It was like an obscene number of listens on Spotify. Yeah. I'm super proud of him.
Yeah, absolutely. To 100%. It's like when I have one student who went to freaking Yale and got his master's degree in classical guitar performance.
Nice.
That kind of thing. And it's like going, oh, dude, so like freaking proud of you. That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
What I mean? And it's just it's a bittersweet thing when students come and go. I'm always happy for them. I'm expecting that they're going to go on and be extremely successful in whatever they do. It's just,
of course,
it's probably very similar to the feeling that like a regular teacher would have. You know what I mean? Like these people graduate and move on.
Only we're way cooler.
Yes, and we can rock and shred guitars and stuff like that.
In fact, I received so my cousin Lisa actually and her husband got me a very nice Christmas gift this year. It's a T-shirt that says "Guitar Teacher, noun." Just like a regular teacher, only way cooler, which is very true.
That is true. That's true. Well, yeah, we get to rock for a living, which is really, really cool. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, so big shout out to Austin for becoming a man.
Okay.
And having, so now like how to really drink.
So as we know, and drinking as much as you want has never had any negative consequences at all.
Not for anyone in the music industry.
Not that I'm aware of. No, it's never happened.
Not at all.
Yep.
And my buddy Andrew also joined us for the holiday screening of The Exorcist. so we all got
Some
together.
People watch A Christmas Story, and it's
yeah. Why would you do that? That's fuck, dude. My buddy's girlfriend stopped by the house the other day wearing the pink bunny pajamas.
Oh, what, really? They have that? That's a thing?
Yeah, I guess they had a Christmas Story party and whatever, and I was just pouring myself another glass of bourbon at the time in my kitchen. And I just thought, I didn't get it because I've never really watched A Christmas Story. I know the kid licks the stupid fucking flagpole and whatever.
It's actually a cool movie. I like it.
And then there's the pellet gun thing, and there's 50s nostalgia and
40s,
whatever.
Yeah, 1940s, back when nothing bad ever happened.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the greatest generation where when America was perfect. Although the tax system was much more fair, but other things,
commie. Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
Although other things were not, but
I was going to get back to the persistence thing though. I was in the middle of buffering up all the artists out there about being persistent.
So really quick, one more thing in the name of persistence. Okay. This was the fourth year.
Wait, are we talking about time? Time is persistent?
Yes, the persistence of time.
Okay.
Yes, a fine Anthrax album.
Yes, it is. Arguably the last fine Anthrax album, I would say. Yeah.
I don't know.
Arguably.
There's some newer. There's some other Anthrax.
Oh yeah,
albums
right. For All Kings is pretty good. Yeah.
What was the something music? It's like a
worship music.
Worship music. Yeah, dude, that album's good.
That's good.
I mean, anyway,
maybe I'm being less charitable towards Anthrax than I should.
So this was the fourth year of every year I hold a student beer summit. This year it was a beer, lunch, soft drink summit.
Nice.
And big shout out to all of my beloved current and former students who showed up to tilt a glass and have a snack together. It's an opportunity for us to hang out where I don't have to tell someone what to do.
Yeah.
Namely play guitar.
Yeah.
right? Because that's what they come to me for.
That's usually what it is.
It's usually that's what we do. But so we had like 25 plus people this year.
Wow, that's a good turnout, man.
It was really fantastic. So big thank you to all of my beloved current and former students that came to hang out. That was actually, and then after Beer Summit, we went home and screening of The Exorcist. So it was really...
It's a whole day.
So like Christmas was cool, but the day after Christmas was better.
Oh my God. Well, that sounds exciting, dude. It's really cool.
Dude,
it's actually really good to see old students too, like especially if you haven't seen them in a bit. That's pretty cool. It's pretty fun.
No doubt, man.
Yeah.
So I get to go to work and hang out with my friends all day. And then I get to go home and drink bourbon and watch The Exorcist on the day after Christmas.
Sounds like the perfect life.
Dude, you're always invited.
What's
Scott.
the word? Like it's a blameless life. Like Ryan is living a blameless life.
Living a charmed life. Yes. Well, Scott, you are always welcome to join us. You don't have to drink bourbon, but you can watch The Exorcist.
Yes, I don't drink alcohol or watch horror movies.
You should at least try the horror movie part. I'm not going to encourage you to drink.
I know, man. I know. I really appreciate that too.
But The Exorcist,
horror movies are not my jam.
The Exorcist isn't really a horror movie.
It's really like a love story if you think about it.
It is. It's about the love that Pazuzu has for punishing Father Karras through the possession of the McNeil girl.
Such a good boy.
That would be a good dog. That would be a good dog name. Anyway, so it's a murder mystery drama.
All right, I got you.
So there you go.
Persistence.
Yep.
The people out there in the arts, you're not going to get the big payday right off the bat, most likely. That's almost...
Or ever.
Well, that's very potential, but you don't know. But at the end of the day, it's not why you do it. You do it because you love it. You do it because it's something you can't not do. And if something great comes of it, then great. But you have to kind of walk in having that attitude. I think the people who are tapping out after 3 podcasts, I think people who have wildly out of proportion expectations of what's going to happen. I think it must be part of what it is.
Yeah, and they must not have a strong. They must not have a strong POV.
That could be it too.
Right. Like you and I have a very distinct POV.
Oh, we went through some shit, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
We lived through one of the most traumatic things in all of human history.
Well, we lived through 2 of the most traumatic things in human history.
That's true.
There's the Garth-pocalypse and the Grunge-pocalypse. Yep.
I don't know, man. Yep. I don't know about the Garth-pocalypse not being equal.
I do.
Not being equal with the Grunge-pocalypse.
Absolutely equal. Yeah. In fact, actually, since grunge isn't really a thing anymore.
Well, grunge is only a thing for 3 years. It wasn't really
right,
a thing,
but the Garth-pocalypse continues. It is persistent and it poisons other aspects of American life and culture.
I guess you can argue that, but it's being
But the thing I'll be persistent in arguing
that. The thing that's more unforgivable is that getting rid of really killer guitar playing being the forefront of popular music. That was the original sin of grunge.
Yeah, but then making it all country. See, we've debated this, and
I know.
So
I don't agree with you. I think it's almost like man, he got shot 25 times. Yeah, but his toe was stubbed too. It's like, well, who cares about his stubbed toe? He got shot 25 times.
It's worse than a stubbed toe though. It's like they slit the throat too. Right.
See,
that's what the
totally Garth-pocalypse. Because at least there's still killer guitar playing in some of that country stuff.
That makes it even more insidious because it puts forth a social and political agenda.
Insidious actually should be a movie. Have you thought about that? I don't know.
So as our listeners know, we're persistent, right?
True.
You know what I mean on these topics and more.
Well, anybody who is in the arts has to learn to be persistent. And I think honestly, if you have anything you want to achieve in life, period, this is going to sound very Tony Robbins, but it's really you have to just not give up. There's going to be setbacks. There's going to be tons of people that you love and respect telling you can't do it or you shouldn't do it.
Again, to give credit to and to steal Beato's point, he makes the point that learning a musical instrument requires persistence, and that is very true.
Yep. And you have to have the expectation that it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. I'm going to keep at it no matter how hard it feels. Whether it's feeding my soul in this moment. I can't tell you how many people I've tried to teach over the years who want. And then usually the conversation starts with something to the effect of, I want to develop my technique. And then when I get into the nitty gritty of how you actually do that, the nuts and bolts of how you actually build chops, that's where things start kind of fading, and that's where that persistence comes in.
I definitely spent more time this year with a number of students, with the grind.
Yeah.
And I mean,
even the Scott Allen Project song, "The Grind," showing this to them and then changing their life.
40 people learned that song.
Hell yeah,
this year.
Dude.
Hell yeah,
hell yeah.
Oh shit! But I played it off my hard drive, so. Damn it!
Oh yeah, okay.
So that means you didn't get it. You didn't see the streams.
Oh man, what the hell? Right. What are you saying? But you're talking about the grind of practicing. Right?
Well, yeah, totally. Yeah. So I definitely spent more time with a number of students where, okay, we're going to play this exercise for the whole half hour together.
Yep. Just
to impress upon you, what it. So I think a real challenge that can happen. A real challenge that I think learning practicing guitar players that I encounter have is that they underestimate just how much you've got to repeat playing this thing.
That's 1,000%
this one thing.
true. Yeah.
Like exercise 1, pattern 1 of A minor pentatonic, like you have to play it hundreds, thousands of times.
I'll sit there with them time and they'll play it and they're like, okay, I did it like 3 times. That's good. I'm like, no, again,
right.
again.
Yeah.
Until it's freaking down, dude. It's not down. You know what I mean? And then it's like, man, I've done it 10 times. Like, well, yeah, it's going to take you about 100 more before it's down. So let's keep doing this. And
I'm not sure like the analogy. So like, I mean, everyone's heard of like the runner's high.
Yeah.
Like you've got to run for a certain amount of distance. I mean, I know like when I'm walking in the morning, right? I haven't really started. I mean, at this point, I haven't really started until I'm like a mile and a half or like 2 miles in, but then something like shifts mentally. Mm-hmm. Where it's easy to go like the next like 3, 4, 5 miles.
Yeah, you can handle that next little bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's like what you're doing is I call it breaking the inertia. So like once you can get past that first bit of breaking the inertia, then it starts getting some momentum going and it becomes self-perpetuating. Mm-hmm. You know, the more you do it. And I always tell people, like once you get to the point where it's really starting to get smooth, like let's say I'm doing the sextuple exercise or something like that. Once you get to the point where you can play it smoothly and evenly to the beat and it's like starting to happen and you start increasing the speed, you're gonna get a sense for what you could be. Like you can start visualizing what your technical facility could look like. And it's gonna become self-perpetuating from that point forward. Because you're gonna want to like reach that next milestone. Like, my God, I got here. What if I got there? Oh my God, what would that be like? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard to describe. It's like you've got to like, you know, for those of you listening who have experience with like psychedelics, like you just have to like kind of like just trip balls on it for a while, right? Like I was
thinking more Zen Buddhism, but okay.
What's Scott? What's the difference? I mean, I thought that's what like shrooms were for.
No, you get into it was called a flow state. And that's going to be what I'm talking about.
Oh, you see, I just called that like tripping balls.
Well, that's different. Like,
do you know that?
Satan's like patting you on the head the whole time you're doing it, right?
If you're doing it well, if you're doing it right, like you have to.
Wait, this is not something that's part of your normal curriculum.
So
right? Hey kids.
What I'm arguing for is like there's a consciousness shift.
Yes.
That occurs. That you must achieve.
Yeah.
But it requires like you know, I mean, I do always tell people you've got to play it until you're sick of it and then you've almost played it enough, but you haven't.
Yep. You're just getting you're just starting to get your foot in the door at that point.
You're almost getting so now here's the good news. Like I'm just asking.
Actually, all of it's good news. It's all going to lead you to a better place. You know what I mean?
I'm just asking you to do one thing. Yep. Like you don't have to learn a new scale, and you don't have to learn a new melodic sequence.
Yeah.
Just take one afternoon of your life,
or transpose it into every key that
you don't even you don't have to do any like all the information's there. Yeah. You just have to carve out 4, 6, 8 hours. Just carve out a day of your life, and just like repeat it more times than you ever thought was humanly possible.
But you have to do it with a real intention too. You have to make sure that all of your, your picking technique, your hand angle, your muting technique, your fingerings are all consistent and right.
Well, you'll start to focus on those things.
That's what I mean.
Like that's how you end up discovering.
Keep in mind, there's that whole garbage in, garbage out thing too. If you're actually using flawed technique, it doesn't matter if you practice it 6 hours. You're basically developing flawed technique that's eventually have to be taken care of.
That's like if you get in your car,
you got to be very intentional about what you program your hands to do.
Like if you get in the car every morning and like fire up some Post Malone, then you're going to be bad at music.
That's true. Well, that's where you're starting. That's the thing. I don't know. It's funny. I remember, being at that age, that time, like, it wasn't even a matter. I mean, I've talked about this in the podcast before, but like, there was no amount of work I wasn't willing to do to achieve what that was going to be. And I think that kind of stuff that we're describing right now, that kind of persistence is got to be self-motivated. There's no like carrots and sticks big enough to make you do it if you don't want to do it. You know what I mean?
You just have to decide, I'm just going to trip balls on this. And you're just going to go for it, right? You're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to get high naturally. Without any foreign substances, I'm just going to play this scale until I shift into another state of being.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
Until I have an out-of-body experience.
When I'm teaching students like scale sequencing, for instance, and I have, I give them the sequencing pages. I make everybody learn 6 different variations, and then there's like sometimes up to 4 or 5 sequences within each variation, and there's a bunch more on top of that. And they'll ask me questions like, how did you do it? I'm like, well, I did this every day. In every key, every variation. You know what I mean? And I would sit there and say, okay, from 7:30 in the morning till like, noon, I'm going to just do diatonic sequences.
Dude, I need to like steal that material from you.
And well, that's But that's just to show them I'm walking what I talked. You know, I'm not just saying you do this. I fucking did it like 3 times, threefold what I'm asking you to do.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And there was nobody sitting there like giving me $100 bills under the table, or it was nothing. There was no immediate joy.
That'd be so cool.
That would be cool.
If somebody were sitting there, just be like, "Here's $100.
Whoa, here's $100.
Whoa, here's $100. Oh, did you like the text message I sent you?
Oh yes,
it was
with
great.
the picture of Louis Shortstad's Return of the Jedi character. I have to tell you, I was so impressed. I was like, my God, that's him. Oh my God.
So like I woke up on was it Christmas Day? Or was it day after Christmas? It was like, the thing was the morning. I don't know, because again, I was drinking whiskey. So like I slept
Could
in
have been
a
like
couple
3 or 4 days later,
Yeah, and if I don't get up early enough in the morning, then like Missy gets a hold of the TV controller, and then things just go downhill from there.
What has it become, like Friends? Is that what's on or something? Or
sometimes that happens, but I'm not going to blame Misty for that. I'm just going to blame
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, I'm gonna blame like TBS or whatever. So yeah, like we'll have like the Big Bang Theory on in the background, which is tolerable.
Okay.
But then it switches to stupid fucking Friends, and I have to change it. I mean, at least Seinfeld seems to be dead this year. That's good. So, what were you just like Seinfelding?
Yep.
Is that the Seinfeld thing?
Just I probably did too much. We're probably gonna get like lawyers descending upon us.
Right? Yeah, right. Yeah. The cease and desists are incoming. So anyway, that day I woke up late and Star Wars was on.
Yeah, because sometimes they'll have like all the movies. They'll start from episode 1 all the way through episode 9, and they'll just like run them all day.
Yeah, but this time they were playing like the only 3 good Star Wars movies, which are the 3 originals, the only decent ones that
episodes 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, the ones that don't have a bunch of stupid children in them.
Okay.
The one without any like major child pandering in them, which is only the 3 original films. All the other movies have stupid insult to your intelligence child pandering in them. Right. Oh, you know what? There's another Star Wars thing, but.
So let's get to Louis Shortstad.
So I got a good picture of like a close-up shot of an Ewok face, and so I texted Scott with the caption reading, "Louis Shortstad says, 'Whoa, Merry Christmas.'"
He was very, from what I understand, he was very much into the holiday season. That was his thing.
Yes, and I hear he was also short and a stud.
He was really into giving. I know that.
He was. Well, he was also really into taking, which is his an important twist to the holidays.
Oh my God, it was like a Knives Out style twist.
So have you seen on YouTube, there's like these AI like Star Wars shorts?
No, what are you talking about?
Yeah, dude, I'll have to send you the thing.
How is this not getting shut down by Lucasfilm?
I don't know how it's not getting shut down by Lucasfilm. Like this, somehow someone is making these like I think they're stealing some of the plot points from some like comic books and stuff.
Okay.
But
how creative!
But it's like, but I mean, it's shit like Vader, like without his gear on, like and all the medicals. Like it's really like, and there's no stupid little children. It's just it's actually like it's what Star Wars could be if Disney would just please go bankrupt.
Yeah, it's not going to happen, man. They're the most successful corporations in the world.
Hey, you know what? If Universal Studios keeps up with Halloween Horror Nights, I think we can, we just need to find out how to get La Llorona to be real and go out and like do some child murder.
Okay, fair enough.
That, you never know, man. You never know.
All right, so 2026, though, I think we have every reason to believe there's a lot of good things on the horizon. There's no reason to believe negatively. And
absolutely.
I think the other thing I want to just, kind of mention that's so valuable is what we've talked about all day, which is that persistence. I think managing expectations is one of the biggest keys to finding yourself feeling successful. And I think also don't compare yourself like, okay, I'm 34 years old and my friend Jimmy Joe has got this happening, so I'm a failure. That's like, that's the old saying, was it comparison's the thief of happiness?
You know what? So to your point,
don't do that, people.
To your point, after, so one of the great things that comes from, so when we do like holiday beer summit.
Okay.
Right. So like some of these are students that like they aren't all lesson neighbors, right? They get to meet each other from different days, right? You know what I mean? Like
so
they're on the schedule.
A Thursday student with a Monday student and they never see each other. They don't know who those people are.
We get so you get students who are on like different parts of the schedule. They get to co-mingle, right? And so this Sunday, I had a student with me and he said, I really enjoyed Beer Summit this year. I thought I was the only one like who came to you every week and was like, I didn't have enough time to practice, but I guess
that never happens. That's like, oh my God, you're the only one.
It's like, well, no, I mean, that's like everybody.
That's every student who's ever existed. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Except for you and me.
That's right.
But we're like super, we're way outliers.
So anyway, so it was nice that, you shouldn't compare yourself to other people, but also know that like you're not alone in some of the struggles that other students face.
Yeah, it's totally true.
Right? Especially if you're an adult who has like a full-time job and like you might have like ruined your life by having kids and then you have that responsibility. And, you know, so those things could interrupt, right? And those things, when I say the things, I mean the kids, those things
jobs
could
and
interrupt.
Responsibilities too. Like when you have something in your life that is important besides just music. That's one advantage that you and I had when we started this path. We were kids. You know what I mean? We didn't have adult responsibilities, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And so all we had to focus on was music. And I think that's a real advantage, especially for the first 5 years, 6 years you're playing, you're able to just totally focus on playing music.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's huge, and that's a big advantage. That doesn't mean you can't be successful if you don't have that. If you start at 50 and, you know, you've got a full-time job, you can, but it's just about, you know, time management, organization, commitment. You have to say, hey, I'm going to do this, and it's got to be intentional. It can't be sort of, I just pick it up whenever I feel like picking something up. I think that's a recipe for not being successful or not achieving your goals. But if you say, okay, I'm going to do these things and be intentional about the other thing too, I would say just while we're talking about this persistence is you have to not judge where you are. You can't judge, I should be here, I'm not, you know, where I should be or something like that. You just have to do the work. You have to sit down and be consistent over time. And over time, I mean like 6 months, 8 months, 1 year horizon. You can't be like a 3 weeks horizon, something like that. And you just have to show up and chop wood and do it consistently. I think that's the key. And don't judge where you are or where you're, you know, what you think you should be. Because that's just going to make you sad. And don't judge like, hey, well, me and Jim started at the same time and now he can do this and I can't do this, you know, and just keep doing the work you know you need to do. And then what I was also thinking about is artists too. Like, you know, if you're whatever that might be, you know, whether you're in a band, whether you're doing a podcast, whether you're a painter, whether you're a writer or something like that, you know, my friend here, he's got picked up by this thing or whatever, and you can't like let that deter you. You have to just keep doing what you're doing. And you know what I mean? Because it's very easy to get deterred. Everyone's really, really eager to pounce on you and tell you what you can't do when you're in the arts.
That's
you know what I mean? And I think that having that internal validation and that sort of persistence and keeping your expectations within, you know, the horizon of what's, you know, short-term possible and long-term possible, and then being consistent and staying on a trajectory and not letting anyone deter you from that is going to, over time, most likely, there's no guarantee of anything, but most likely you're going to be successful, depending on how you define success.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Sorry, I was soliloquy there for a while. What do you think?
No, dude, that's you're totally correct. Yeah.
But I mean, I think expectations and how you define parameters of what success looks like makes all the difference. It's like, hey, I'm going to have, you know, 10 million followers on TikTok, you know, by 3 months from now or something like that. You know, it's
I'm gonna ascend to Valhalla on a throne made of chocolate and feathers.
Exactly.
Oh, and sit at the right hand of Yngwie.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know,
right.
Yeah, exactly. Which I believe is in South Florida, actually, where his throne is. You know, it's located. But no, but I think that's huge. Or like, hey, you know, I'm going to be opening for, you know, whatever band, you know, the Avenged Sevenfold. If you're a younger band, you know, like that's my job is to get that. You know, and that's a laudable long-term goal. And then you have to make, you know, smaller little steps in between. But you got to just, you know, getting the band together. Writing songs, getting rehearsals, you know, that's like, those are all steps along that path. And I think anytime you're endeavoring to do anything that's challenging, whether it be learning guitar or whatever, getting a master's degree or whatever it might be, it's a lot of small steps that lead to those big steps. And I think the key is focusing on each small step and recognizing that's the next step rather than looking at the ultimate goal. Look at the smaller goal in front of you.
Yeah. And then also, you know, focus on enjoy just that one step you're on.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Like just inhabit that step. Just trip balls on
Look
that
at this riff I wrote. Look how cool this is. You know what I mean? And then like, let's put another riff next to that. And then next thing you know, hey, I wrote a song.
You might just spend all day just on that riff.
Yeah. And for a week. You might just, and then, but then you got to enjoy that process. Like Ryan's saying, you have to like literally just, this is so cool. Look at this thing I made. You know what I mean? And then with almost no more expectations than that, look at this cool thing I made.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you go to the next step. Okay, how do I bring this to the world? And then, you know, manage your expectations accordingly about what that's going to look like. You know, no one's going to, I generally think when it comes to arts, like no one's going to be as invested initially as in that piece of art you made than you.
Well, actually, no one ever is going to be as invested in that piece of art.
But you can't expect that, okay, the whole world's validation is going to be what makes this worthwhile.
You've got to be, Yep. You have to be 100% like internally validated.
Yep. And I'm just so happy I made this piece of art. Whether one person thinks it's cool or nobody or 100,000 people think it's cool. It doesn't really matter. You know what I mean?
You know, when I look in the mirror, I can say to myself, you know, number one, I'm a doer.
Yep.
I don't just talk about doing shit. I go do shit.
Yep.
And then when I go to do shit, I finish that shit.
Yep.
So
and
now I've got
toilet.
So now I've got finished
shit. Analogy correctly, right? Then you use the.
That's
okay. Yeah.
Oh man, dude. Okay, so the greatest. Okay, so the latest. So
oh no. Here's what did I do.
So here's. So another Christmas miracle over this holiday season, right? So I'm watching the most recent episode of South Park.
Okay.
And
oh god.
And Stan. Stan in a moment of distress, like he's leaning over the toilet, like asking for help. Like you think he's like reaching out to like Mr. Hanky the Christmas poo.
Okay.
Right? Famous South Park character,
yes,
right? You think that like Mr. Hanky's going to show up on the Poo Choo Express train and save the day.
Okay.
And like, so I'm sitting in my chair watching it, and I say to Misty, what South Park needs are the fucking Christmas critters, dude. Where are the Christmas critters?
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, the Christmas critters showed up. Dude, they brought back. I called it. They brought back the Christmas critters.
Wow.
Do you know who the Christmas critters are?
No, I'm not a consistent South Park.
They're all, bruh.
I'm just not consistent about it.
Dude, the Christmas critters, the ones who like bring about the birth of the Antichrist.
Okay.
In the Christmas critters episode, it's season 8, episode 14.
Wow, you know that much detail about what season? Oh my god,
dude, it's Christmas critters. Hail Satan!
Man, I'm aware.
There's Barry and like Porcupiney and like Rabbity the rabbit and Mousy the mouse and and then like Porcupiney is like pregnant with the Antichrist.
Okay.
Right. So Stan, like in the original episode, like they ask Stan to go like kill the mountain lion that's threatening all the woodland critters, right? And so Stan goes up the mountain, he kills the mountain lion, but then finds out that there's like these 3 like mountain lion cubs. Apparently, like the mountain lion was the only thing protecting humanity from the birth of the Antichrist.
Okay.
So Stan takes the orphan mountain lion cubs to go learn how to perform abortions. And then the mountain lion cubs like are prepared to perform an abortion on Porcupiney, who's gonna like give birth to the Antichrist anyway.
Typical, like classic story.
Yeah, I mean, look, my retelling the tale like in no way captures the glory of the Christmas critters. In fact, like most people get a Christmas critters text from me on Christmas, but anyway, so they just watch the latest episode of South Park, folks.
Okay, that one you had to reverse orders in that.
So like Satan's about to have a butt baby, and then the Christmas critters show up to save the day. It was a Christmas miracle. It's like Matt and Trey like read my mind.
Oh God, that's amazing. Or maybe you read their mind.
You know what? We're probably connected.
Some kind of telekinesis of some sort happening.
Yes, and that's
which is real. Yes. It's a real thing, by the way.
That's what you get
Science.
when you drink the virgin's blood in the goblet, the pentagram goblet. Thanks again, Dan.
Yep, totally.
Thanks again, Dan Zanelli,
and while
for
you're doing that,
pentagram thing. Yes.
Be persistent, people. That's what I'm trying to say. Be persistent, whatever your arts are. I appreciate that. We need more art in the world. If 2026,
we need more good art in the world.
It's gonna be great. We need people making art.
Yes, unless you're Post Malone, so stop it.
Yes, you need to look in the mirror and have a hard conversation about stopping what you're doing for Post Malone.
If you're Blake Shelton, just
Luke Combs, maybe.
If you're Blake Shelton, just fucking knock it off.
Yeah,
just stop it.
He's like, okay, I'll just retire and have
right. That's a bad Blake Shelton. That's a bad Blake Shelton.
Yeah.
Stop it.
No, it should be better.
If you're, let's see, who else? We can do like the 2026 list
of all the terrible people.
If you're Kenny Chesney, just stop. Bad Kenny Chesney. Knock it off.
On his own, though. I haven't really heard much about Kenny Chesney.
No, and that's good. But if he's thinking about starting again, just fucking stop, dude. Just don't do it.
Yep, he's not going to Chesney. He's done his last.
Get away.
Chesney.
If you're, he's the guy that married Nicole Kidman.
Oh, Keith Urban.
Yeah, if you're Keith Urban, fucking stop, dude.
I know,
go
man.
back
he's
to
employed
Australia.
A lot of good guitar players. He's employed a lot of good techs.
Fine, good. So they can retire. They can, they can latch on with another tour, but just like no more.
I don't know. It's just
stop it. Knock it off, new country artists. Just knock it off. Nate Smith, step away from the auto tune.
And you guys who are making new rock and roll and bringing rock and roll forward, keep doing what you're doing, man. Because
that's right.
It's necessary. You're doing a service to the entire world.
Just put the cowboy hat away.
Yep. Exactly, and pick up your electric guitar and rock, dude.
Yeah,
that's what the world needs. The world needs now is rock, sweet rock. That's what we need, you know what I mean?
Dude, I can't top that.
That's totally true. So you know what else rocks is X Aegis, where you can listen to our music at our website xaegisband.com.
Yes, that's www.exaegisband.com. There
you'll find links to our social media. Please make sure to follow us on social media so you can get all the updates on what we got going on, both with the podcast and with New X Ages Music. And you guys have an awesome, amazing first week of 2026. Can't wait to talk to you about all the amazing, great things that are going to happen in this new year. Hopefully we don't lose any rock stars this year.
None.
One of my main goals for 26 is no rock star deaths. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yes, no rock star deaths in 2026. Oh, and you know what? Let's get a new King Diamond album.
My God. Well, it's almost here.
I had to put that out there in 2026.
Man. It's like 5 years ago. I remember they had like the 2 songs they put out. You know what I mean?
So let's get a new King Diamond album before King Diamond's son is old enough to play his dad in a King Diamond tribute band. That's all I want.
That's going to happen. So you guys all be good. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for listening.
Peace.